Dear Father, can you hear me? I'm all alone and I'm feeling empty. I'm paranoid, so I keep the blicky. Had to leave you in the past, cause you won't rhyme with me. Dear Father, can you hear me? I'm all alone and I'm feeling empty. I'm paranoid, so I keep the blicky. Had to leave you in the past, cause you won't rhyme with me.
Dreaming but I'm still woke, praying but I'm losing hope, standing but I'm falling slow. I'm all alone, you wouldn't know. Picture me rolling, got them bands on me. A Cuban lady.
Shout out to dads everywhere. I'm Lennox's dad, James.
I'm JV and Devin's dad, John.
Welcome to another episode of Present Pillars. So we began this movement to highlight all aspects of fatherhood, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you don't take anything from this show, just remember this one thing. The best dad you can be is a present dad. So today our guest is Freddie Robinson, the minister, youth development professional, director, I should say, youth development director, father, husband. What else can I say?
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this great movement, and I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you so much for this.
Yes,
it means the world to me, not only to tell my story, but to help and develop dads around the world. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you, John, and thank you, James.
Good to have you.
And we appreciate you being on the show. So let's start this off. Mr. Freddie,
Okay.
tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm Freddie Robinson, born and raised in the city, the great city of Ben Harbor. Been around here all my life. Graduated from Eau Claire High School, class of '97. Just been enjoying life. Enjoy working with kids. Enjoying being a tiger as well. You know, I just enjoy what I do. So I'm very grateful and very appreciative to be a part of this great movement.
Dope, dope. Tell us about your kids, man.
Well, the kids, man, my world, man. Words cannot express how much I appreciate my son and my daughter. Hope I don't get teary-eyed, but every time I talk about my family, something goes on about that, you guys. I really care about my daughter, my son, and my beautiful wife. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for them three. So I'm so grateful and I'm so appreciative of my family.
Dope, dope. When did you meet your wife?
Well, I met my wife. Ooh. My wife came inside the Boys and Girls Club, and I was like, wow. I think I like that. so what I decided to do, you know, I just kept on looking, you know, kept on praying, and, you know, I like, well, I'm gonna ask her, or I'm just gonna, you know, leave it alone. So one day I had, the kids were like, you taking, you know, they were like, well, you taking Mr. Freddie from us, and this. So I ended up meeting my wife at the Boys and Girls Club. We've been married going on 15 years now. Nice. So we'll be celebrating 16 next year in June. So I'm very appreciative of my wife.
Nice. Tell us about your kids, man.
Kids, man. Little Freddie and Hannah. I love them dearly. I was blessed to have them. You know, I've been working with kids all my life. I've been working on my job going on 20 years, but I always wanted to be a father. That's one of the most important things. Even though the situation at my house, I didn't have a father figure growing up. You know, thank God that I had a couple of my hood friends from Highland. Shout out to, you know, Freeze Cup, he gone home, and shout out to Picky. You know, them guys took me under their wings and helped me become the man that I am. And shout out to my pastor. He's going to be with the Lord. He was a great role model for me, and I'm so appreciative of him. And I thank God that I have positive men in my life, even though my daddy wasn't present in my life, but I did have positive men in my life, so I'm so grateful for that. So as being a father, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm so grateful to be a father, and I'm so grateful to role model, teach my son how to teach his wife. So that's what I love about being a father. And I love both of my kids with everything in me.
When did you become a father?
Well, I've become a father. My story is unique, and, you know, I was blessed. You know, I was married 12 years, and we was trying to have babies. And, you know, I said, well, Lord, you know, I've been working with kids all my life. I said, why it ain't happened to me? You know, I see everybody else, you know, putting on that mask that you know you excited, but deep down inside you hurting. Why not me though? You know, I do this. I've been present in all these kids' lives. I've been changing kids' lives, but man, it took almost 12 years for God to bless me with my first baby, and I'm man, words cannot express how I feel, and I'm excited, man. You know, the doctor told me no, but God said yes, and I'm so grateful to have my great son with me as we speak, and my daughter. So,
What's the difference in their personalities? You got a boy and a girl.
well, my boy is more energetic. My boy, he's more. He clings on to his mother a lot more than he do me. I'm the more disciplinary, but I enjoy it. My son, my daughter's more, she love her dad. She like being under me. I gotta rock her to sleep every night. So I just enjoy both of my kids. They both different, but they my seed, and I'm so grateful to be their father. So no matter how many awards I get, I don't care about the degrees, I don't care about the years. One of my goals is to be the best father in the world, and that's what I'm striving to do. That's what I love this show. Not only is telling fathers how to be better fathers, but it's encouraging too, to continue to do the work, continue to get better at what you do, and everything else to take care of itself.
Tell us about your best dad moment.
Man, the best dad moment, I think, when my wife had her son. I was in the room. I ain't gonna lie, I was super nervous. I was in the room when the lady asked me to cut the umbilical cord. I almost passed out. They had to give me a chair and water. So I really think that's my best. They're fanning me, sitting me down. My wife said I was getting on her nerves, but I think that's my best dad moment. And when I finally hold him, my tears started flowing down my eyes, and I was just, wow, this is finally here. So I was so grateful for that.
So with you not having a dad present in your life, I know you said you had some role models along the way. How did that impact you growing up, not having a dad?
Well, I was very bitter, John. I was very bitter at my dad. I was very frustrated. I had a lying spirit telling kids my daddy was a truck driver. The kids blazing, where your dad at? He driving the truck. You know, I always said that, but I was really inside, hard working. Matter of fact, I ain't never saw him. So, you know, that was hard growing up, that everybody else had their father in the stand, and, you know, I never had mine. You know, they always, you know, the prom and, you know, stuff like that. I was very angry growing up, man. I don't lie, I was very angry, and I was very frustrated. I was very disappointed because I felt that I didn't deserve that. You know, I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't perfect either, but I deserved to have my dad and mother in the stand just like everybody else. So, I mean, it was very hurtful growing up not having my father in my life. So, you know, I learned how to navigate through it, but it was very difficult for me.
Is he alive today?
Yeah, he alive today. Praise God, he alive today. You know, I learned how to put the hurt aside and focus on the future. Hurt people. But if we get over the hurt and get over the unforgiveness, you can change. You know, what my dad did for me 20 years ago, I shouldn't hold that grudge against him. He didn't know. So I had to break that generational curse, seeing that, you know, dad went in my life, here it is. I'm hating my daddy because he didn't do this. I love my daddy. I celebrated my daddy's birthday, 71. I spent a lot of money, and I was super excited. I call him like 3 times a day, you know, 3 times a week, to make sure that if he need anything, I'm there, just to tell him I love him. So I'm very grateful to have that relationship with my dad now.
What's that like, you know, after so many years of not having him, right? So what's it like to have him now? Like,
oh, it feels good, man. Just to call him dad, man.
Wow.
You know, just to say the word dad. It's a great feeling for me, you know, not having him part of my life, but it act like he been a part of my life. Yeah. You know, I don't, you know, if he need me, I'm coming. You know, I'm his son. You know, I'm named after him, so, you know, my goal is to carry the legacy on.
So your
and pass it down. My son's name is Freddie Lee Robinson, you know, and the goal, if he have a son, to name him that. I pray he do, but
John Sam's dynasty.
Yeah, it's a lot of us, man.
Yeah, definitely.
we get it in, man.
I love that. I love the legacy on that. So,
what you took the first step reaching out to him? or did you reach
Yeah,
out to you?
I took the first step. No, I'll be honest with you, John. Let me keep it 100 with you. My wife was praying one night. She was all like, "Why she in there praying?" She in there praying, "Lord, he need to find his daddy, and I want to be a part of our life." And I'm like, "I don't want that. I was playing a video game. I didn't care about him being a part of my life. He didn't want to be a part of my life." Now, so in my mind, I'm like, "Lord, why is she praying that? She could be praying something else. We need cars, and we trying to have a baby during that time." So but she kept on praying that. So then one day I got a call, and my brother-in-law said, I think I seen your father on Facebook. Then me, I'm like, I said, well, God, if it's meant, let it be. Then the next thing I know, I think that Sunday, I'll never forget that Sunday, we called him and we talked to him, and we all shared tears, and I was just happy to talk to him.
Well, I mean, as far as mentally, how are you feeling like now, right? Because I know that first off, it takes a lot to reach out in any form or fashion to someone that to potentially hurt you. And in your situation, that they weren't present, they weren't there, you had a lot of trauma growing up. What would you think? How was your mental, and how did you get past that?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, John. A lot of praying, and you gotta have a unforgiving spirit, man. I think, and you gotta get counseling. It's mental. Most of all that hurt is mental. And what happened is we hold on that and we never get healed. And here it is, you getting older and older, but you constantly continue to hold on to that hurt. So what I learned how to do, I prayed about it, and I cried on the phone, I gave him a hug and a kiss, and after that, it's been on and popping with me and my father. So I'm very appreciative that not only that God blessed me with a father, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
So I'm grateful. So even though we didn't cross every T or dot every I growing up, but I'm here just because of him. So I'm grateful for that. So,
is there anything like that you always wanted to do as a kid with your dad that you still want to do now? Like, is there any goal y'all have together?
Man, my daddy, man, he want to dress like he 45, he wear the whole hats to the left, and he got the shirt. So only thing that I really want to do with my dad, I really want to take him to a football game. I told him I'm working on that, but he, COVID been so high, he don't really want to go to any games. But
he don't want to go to no Notre Dame.
No, yeah, you can say that. so I'm trying to get him to go to a basketball game or a hockey game, just something that me and him can do. I always wanted that growing up. That's one of the things I told myself, and I told John probably a couple months ago, that I want to be a part of my life, my son's life, my daughter's life. Whatever activity they doing in school, I want to be a part of that. I mean, whatever it takes, I have to be there. Me or dad, me and mom, I have to be there. It's very important to me because growing up, I didn't have that. Right. So every time I looked in the stand, they were like, yeah, they cheering on, your homeboy, mom and dad cheering. I wanted to hear that. A lot of kids say, that's embarrassing, but at least you got that support. A lot of kids didn't have that support. Yeah. So just to have that support and just to have that opportunity to go to the game with my dad would mean the world to me.
Is he pretty present in your kids' lives?
Yes, he's real present in my kids' lives. We go over his house. He stays in South Bend. So, we go by there every other week. My daddy, I got a little sister that's 3 years old.
Congratulations, Daddy.
My man.
3 years old, so I'm bonding with my sister, my little bitty old sister. And my son and my daughter love playing with her, so I'm just grateful for the opportunity that, we put bygones and we trying to grow and make the best of every situation. So we grateful.
They love that auntie, huh?
Yeah, they definitely love. They don't understand yet, but that's auntie.
Pop said, greater is later.
Right.
But the reason I asked it, because I feel like grandparents get a second try. So they love their grandkids because they look at it like,
that's for sure.
They look just like you. The mistakes that they made with you, now they get a chance to mend the mistakes and be the best grandparents in the world. And I realize it's a trend. Grandparents just love their grandkids because it's like doing a do-over, right? They gonna take extra. You gotta think your parent might have never gave you McDonald's, right? But then for the grandkids, they stay at McDonald's.
Right. But they say you got McDonald's money, but slipping 18 with those $50 bills.
Right. right.
What you doing?
Right.
She gonna put that in her mouth.
Right. So.
I think the reason why it's so cool that you on here, man, because you mentioned that they call you Uncle Freddie, Mr. Freddie, and Daddy Freddie, and you said 12 something years trying to get a baby. How did the youth that perceive you now that you're a daddy, right? Because for the longest you was theirs. For 20 some years, you've been in this work with molding our youth, and now they like, hey, I gotta take a step back because he got his own kids now. How did they perceive you now?
Man, I think they adjusted very well. I think the kids adjusted very well. I mean, they treat my son and daughter like they sister and brother. They take them play basketball. They take them in the game room, and the kids are excited for me. Yesterday I brought my kids and former club members that I think they juniors and seniors now, and they said, Mr. Fred, I'm very disappointed in you. You've been our father, but you ain't bring your kids, you ain't bring your kids up here. It's been almost 3 years I haven't saw your kid. I'm like, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'll make sure that you get the opportunity to see my son. So the kids are super excited. I'm excited, the kids are excited, and the organization is excited for me.
They are.
Being that long without being a father, and you changing kids' lives, and you picking kids up. Now you have your opportunity to do it yourself and go home to daddy. It's just, man, it means the world to me.
What's your parenting style, man? Are you because you know how we are. Sometimes we a little rougher on our youth development kids. Then I might be a little softer on my son. So how are you at the house, man?
Well, I think my wife can say I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50. I think more growing up, the way Grandma raised me, I love the way Grandma raised me. I think Grandma did a magnificent job raising me. I'm not bragging. I'm super proud. I've never been locked up. I've never been in a police car. I worked for the police before, but the way Grandma raised me is totally different from the way it is now. Now, we couldn't, clean up the kitchen. I'm tired, just left football practice. You get knocked out. You didn't get the opportunity, to express how you feel, and, they thought you was talking back. So, my parents and stuff, I want to be there. I want to be open-minded. I want to sit down and talk to my daughter and son. This is why you should do this, instead of saying don't do it.
Right.
Well, you shouldn't do this. No, just do what I say. No, explain to them why. They don't want you to hit the road. You see a hole there, go around that hole. You know what I'm saying? So I think my style is more compassion. I look at being more compassion. I am a stern guy with my son and my daughter, but I try to be that compassion as well, too.
You said something, because that's kind of how we are, right? We tend not to listen to the advice of our elders, our dads, our moms, because we have to experience it ourselves, but they're telling us because they've been through it before, right? They say experience your best teacher, but we just don't want to see them hit that same hole in the wall like you just did.
Right.
And you had mentioned something earlier about like going to see counseling for some traumas. I actually just recently signed up for a black therapist. I'm gonna keep it funky, right? Because I feel like in my life I need to talk to somebody. Have you ever talked to a therapist before?
No, I never talked to a therapist, but my pastor really was my therapist. I think, he was the person that I talked to about everything. When my pastor died, I was like, landlord, who I'm gonna talk to now? Because I ain't gonna say I put all my trust in my pastor, but I did. He the person that I trusted. He the person I talked to. Anything that was going on in my life, that mental health is very important.
Yeah.
I really think you need to talk to somebody, because what happened, you can express how you feel. And a lot of time as men, we hold things in, and we never get an opportunity to get it out. And what happened, we explode. So we get the opportunity to talk about it. That's what I had with my past. Everything from marriage, being a father, relationship goals, problems on my job. I always had somebody that I can define in and talk to, and that was my past. He gone to be with the Lord now, rest his soul, but I missed that. Now I'm trying to find somebody else I can relate to and talk to, but it'll come. We got a lot of great people You got John. We all, I mean, you James,
Got
John,
you.
I'm sorry. you know, we got somebody that we can talk to. So, I would tell anybody, you can find somebody, it's a therapist, talk to somebody, get it out. Don't hold it in, because when you hold it in, you make things worse and you don't get better. Then what happens is you have that unforgiveness in your heart and you'll never grow.
I think that's really powerful. John actually said a stat to me the other day, I don't want to misquote, about how the difference in life expectancy.
Oh yeah, in Ben Harbor, St. Joe.
Right. So what was that stat?
I think it's like a 20-year difference of life expectancy from just Ben Harbor to St. Joe. I think it's like
And
70.
men, or is it
It's just in
period?
general, I
In
believe.
general.
Yep, 70 years life expectancy in St. Joe to 50 years in Ben Harbor. 20 years from gun violence to the food deserts to just a lot of different instances, man. It don't even make any sense, right?
Right, right.
And you said something else, man. So about the mental health, you said your story at our support group, the Fathers Matter support group, and every other year I find myself breaking down, right? So afterwards I'm like, oh shit, I feel it, right? So I'm sitting in the back, posted up while everybody getting, I'm like, yeah, I'm breaking down, I can feel it. Afterwards I try to talk to you, and I was like, man, I can't even get my story out, and I was like, okay, I'm breaking down. So I left. I didn't work the next 2 days. But I came into work the next day to talk to my staff and say, this is what I'm going through. So just let them know that, I'm taking mental health days for me. I'm understanding my body, I'm understanding, because in my past, I've hurt friends, I've snapped off at James and my best friends, and you ask yourself why. They didn't deserve that. But we don't know what you're going through.
Right.
You can't even verbalize what you're going through. I didn't lost relationships because I said, hey man, just get the fuck away from me, right? Not like that. But when you go through your go-through, only you know what you're going through, and you got to be able to talk to somebody, whether it be a spiritual leader like yourself, like your pastor, or a therapist, or a friend. You have to dump on somebody.
Yes.
You got to get that out, man, because you explode. And for years, I didn't know what I was going through. With my kids and my family, I would just be stuck, man. And then you get all down, and everybody think you're moody and you're depressed, but you really are going through, and you have the right to go through this.
Right.
The way your upbringings are, you have the right to go through that, and you have to get it out so you can be a better person.
Yes.
But I think that's big too, that we're identifying that we do need professionals or friends or family. But I think it's also important that we start giving each other grace, right?
Yeah.
As another human being, that our first reaction isn't to be defensive, but what's going on with them? Or why are they behaving this way? Why is this happening? Like, this is out of the norm. Hey, you aren't yourself. Is everything okay? I think that'll go a long way. The other part is, I'm glad you said that, though, publicly, because I never got that private apology.
What a private apology? Snap it off?
Yeah, man, you snap on me like every other week. I'm just playing. Yeah.
I was like, damn. Well, damn. Well, if I do, I'm sorry.
That's all good.
But
Grace.
We were just talking about, even when it comes to like phone calls, right? I get mad at my daddy all the time when I answer the phone. I literally be like, why the fuck do you even have a phone? I call you every day, you don't answer, right? Because I'm trying to mend relationships. I'm trying to be intentional. My dad's getting older, and I want to be there for him like he was there for me.
Right.
But I had to realize that I don't pay his phone bill. I don't live with him. He has the right to not answer the phone. I had to give him grace, and at the same time, he might need some separation from me. Right? He might need to not talk to me for a couple of days. And the same thing, I might not need to talk to him. So the understanding that we giving people grace, and we understanding that they could be going through things. So let's try to put our shoes on their foot, or whatever the saying is, and understand what they're going through, and not just jump to conclusions and assume that they're doing something or being evil towards you for not answering the phone. Just a phone call can lead to this person is phony and fake, and that's not the case. You know what I mean? So,
and we need each other though. That's even though you may be going through one of the toughest times, or toughest moment, just to hear a call, James call, just, hey, what's up, man? Just see how you doing. That means a world to me. Somebody checking on me, making sure that I'm in good spirit, or this year has been probably my roughest years in my life. And I'm blessed with 2 kids, a family, everything going well in my life, but losing my past has been rough. Just to have somebody call me and check on me, and a little girl made me a bracelet. She said, Miss Freddie, I'm just thinking, and till today I kept it on. I ain't took it off, because stuff like that means the world to me. Maybe that little penny things, it ain't that important, but to me it's important. Just the small things you do to show people that you appreciate them, you know, day by day. You know, it may be, you know, y'all was fathers before me. I think.
Not me.
Not you. I think John was.
Yeah,
so
I'm OG.
just to see
You been in the game.
what John
Hey,
did
I've
with
been
his
there.
kids and taking the pictures and
You know
going,
what I did.
you know, that stuff like that, man,
gets
it's
busy.
powerful though. You know, it's real powerful. You know, and it's really encouraging because, you know, I need to do the same thing. They go take them to the beach and, you know, play baseball with them or, you know, run with them or do something like that. So it's very encouraging that we look out for each other and keep our mind fresh and always asking, you know. Don't never get to a point that you smarter than everybody is, that you don't need help or you don't need the guidance or you don't need help. So, you know, I think it's so important that we keep each other. You know, only way we don't make it is with each other. You know, in the world today and society today, all we hear is the, you know, the gun violence. But we got to hear something positive like this.
Yeah.
This is a great movement that the world needs to see. You know, so I'm very appreciative that you guys got me on. I'm very appreciative that we moving forward. So I'm grateful. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that.
Couple points on what you just said. So that's actually the inspiration behind the free fatherhood events we do. So I want to say to the audience, if you have any ideas for free fatherhood events, please let us know in the comments and DMs and email, text us, tell your sister to tell my brother, whatever you got to do, but let us know because we want to know what you need. So
Yes, I totally agree with that. And we here. You know, we here. You know, we here in the great city of Ben Harbor. If you need us, email us, you know, inbox us, whatever we need to do to carry this movement. I'm on it 110% because the young men today need fathers.
Absolutely.
And a lot of young men today is hurting because their father either locked up or they're not a part of their life or their father's dealing with, you know, past hurt. So any way I can help or, you know, I'm here. I'm definitely here. So
You've been a father to not just your two kids, but you've raised a generation. I actually heard about you when I lived in Indianapolis, right? I'm like,
Freddie.
That Mr. Freddie, and I know who was Mr. Freddie, but trust me, that's another question for you. How do you want to be known once you leave this earth?
Man, the legacy, man. You know, I know I'm not against a person that, you know, don't take this the wrong way, that I want to see my flowers while I'm living. So if you decide to put me on your shirt, I need to see it. Because, you know, when I'm stressed, I can't hear nothing, James and John. I can't hear nothing. I can't see it. But if you do it now, I can see it. You know, when I had my first child, I cried that whole time. You know, they had my picture and my, you know, Freddie's about to be a dad. That meant the world to me, man. I mean, tears. Even when I think about it now, tears just get to form because it's nothing more important into being a father, you know. It means the world to me. You know, I mean, not only that I try to be an example, you know, not only just in my house or at my job, just in the world in general, trying to be a great father. So it means the world. To carry my legacy, you know, to have something good to say about me, I think that don't mean the world to me. So that's my goal in life. That's my goal in life, to carry this legacy on and pass it to the next generation. Because you never know what God will take me. So, you know, the next leader at the club, I want to empower him that he can take the club to the higher level. Then I took it. So that's my goal in life. So
I got a question for you. When is your birthday?
my birthday, November 19th.
November 19th. Make sure Freddie get his flowers. November 19th.
Yeah, my
They won't
birthday.
see this episode till after November 19th.
But next
However,
November 19th,
we'll make
you
sure
will know.
you
Yeah.
get him his flowers. So,
Please. I mean, I'm appreciative. I'm grateful.
Freddie, man, this has been a blessing. I can tell that you're a preacher because you was preaching today.
For sure.
Okay. I appreciate everything you've done for me personally.
Oh,
I appreciate you done for my kids at the Boys and Girls Club. I appreciate you sharing that story because it led me to a path where I need to get help too, right? Like that's just a fact. My buddies came upstairs immediately and said, "What's wrong with you?" I'm playing it off. Ain't shit wrong with me, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm sorry, my language, but that's just how I am. You know what I mean? I had to learn to embrace love because honestly, growing up, you raised with a man, and that's I'm different. My dad raised me, right? So it wasn't a lot of hugs in my household, right? So I had to figure that whole situation out to the point where like, why is this girl doing for me? Why is this person?
Or why do I deserve?
Why do I deserve it? Am I worthy of love? Right. That's a real thing. But you show love every day. You give love every day, and you receive love because you're a good person. And we appreciate everything you've done for us. And thank you for coming on our show today.
I appreciate it.
If there is any advice that you want to give to the audience about being a man, a father, in fact, I'm gonna double up the question. Give me some advice you would give your younger self, and then give the audience some advice to be a better father.
Well, I think one of the things I think can be a better father is putting God first in everything that you do. I think God is the head of your ship, and what better teacher than Him? What better instructor than Him? Because He's not going to lead you to no bad areas. He'll lead you the right way. And I inspire all fathers to get the help that you need, mental. Get you a praying partner, get you somebody you can believe in, because we all in this together. So I think if we continue to push each other, continue to keep praying, continue to keep God first, everything else will work out. Everything else will work out. You can't go wrong having God be the head of your ship. You can't go wrong having a good surrounding class. Put yourself around positive people that's going somewhere, and and be a leader. You not only be a leader at home, be a leader in the community, be a leader at work. So I think that's what I tell all the young fathers. Find somebody you can trust, find somebody you can believe in, and always keep God first, and everything else will take care of itself.
All right. Well, I would say shout out your church so we can put up their social media.
Oh, Spiritual Vision. Spiritual Vision, Church of God in Christ, Niles, Michigan. Pastor Elijah Thompson III, that's my pastor. So, if you're looking for a church home, we are always welcome in the great city of Niles, Michigan.
All right. Well, that's President Pillars. It's a wrap.
Peace.
What's up, Pops? What a great episode from an even better guy. Some people believe heroes wear capes, but in this community, he wears a blue polo. Uncle Freddie, Mr. Freddie, and now Father Freddie, you are appreciated. If you take anything from this episode, remember, trauma creates change you don't choose, but healing creates change you do choose.
Hey guys, remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell
for notifications on our next episode.
Had to leave you in the past cause you won't rhyme with me.